What's up, guys? Welcome to the Battle Ready series. This is my show within the show here inside the Battle Harder podcast, where I give you real tools, real structure, and a real perspective so you can take control of your life and move forward stronger. Let's kill a myth right now that I want to talk about that was kind of circling in my mind, and that's failure is not a gift. You may have heard that, oh, failure is a gift. Failure is not a gift, and that may sound good or sexy on stage, right? And it may fit some sort of magical quote in your day. But guess what? When you're actually in that, when you've lost something real, when you've lost someone real, it doesn't feel like a gift. It feels like a loss. It feels like total, utter chaos and confusion. Like your identity just got ripped out from under you. And, everything you built didn't work. It didn't matter. And the problem with calling failure a gift, it makes you passive. It makes people passive. Like something good is automatically going to come out of a failure, right? Guess what? It won't. Failure is neutral. It doesn't give you shit. And if it doesn't take anything by itself, what you do after that, that decides everything. I've been there, right? Losing my gym. If you guys don't know, I tell this story all the time. In 2018, my mom passed, right? I was working as a federal police officer. I didn't have a lot of time off, and there was no such thing as bereavement leave, and they were not going to let me take time off to go grieve my mom who died, right? So after we buried my mom, we did the funeral, we did everything, and the grieving process began in 2018. I was miserable. I spent 6 years there, couldn't get a promotion, was just burnt out mentally, physically, emotionally, tired of dealing with the community that I was dealing with, and felt like that the people and place that I was around, that they just didn't care. Everybody was miserable. It was just a bad spot for me to be in, right? So I had this grandiose idea that I was going to open a gym. I was going to open a gym. Opening a gym was one of my dream goals, one of what I thought was my passion, my purpose, something that I always wanted throughout my life. Also, during this time from 2017 to 2018, I was just going through a divorce. Like I was going through it, right? Going through a divorce, miserable at work, miserable with my life, miserable with myself. I already had mental health issues. And I said, I'm going to go build a gym. So I go build this gym, and, not knowing shit about business, jump right in, start doing what I have to do. Had a little bit of support, not much, in building this gym. Kind of had to figure out a lot of stuff out myself. And was to the point where for almost, I think, 2 years, I would work a night shift, 12-hour night shift, get off at 6 a.m., drive 50 minutes one way home, straight to the gym, open the gym from, I think, like 7 a.m. to 12 p.m., go home, eat, take a break, try to take some sort of a fucking nap, and then open the gym again from 5 to 7 to turn around and drive straight back to work another 50 minutes and do it all over again, all over again, all over again. As you can imagine, this caused burnout, irritability, freaking emotional distress, to the point that my chief of police calls me in and he's like, look, we know you started a business. We know you opened a gym. You can't do both. You can't be a business owner or you can't be a police. So you're going to have to choose. And right there, I chose be a business owner. I did what I had to do to leave the command, the company, the law enforcement. I go run my gym full time, and magically COVID happens. Now I'm a single business owner. I'm the one that does all the cleaning, all the building of the gym, all the program design, majority of the coaching. I did graciously have some people help me. And COVID happened. We didn't know what was going on. I didn't have the tenacity to, say, fight back when the city shut me down for 3 months. I literally remember giving out every piece of equipment that I could to people and doing Zoom workouts at home, doing everything I can to lower prices, lower payments, and keep my members. But in 2021, I folded. I had to close. That was a huge failure for me, a huge loss. It still hurts, still sucks. And in my mind, it was a failure. Everybody's, oh, but COVID and I didn't fight. I could have fought harder. I could have done better. And that's kind of the lesson that I take from this. But then after that, I needed work. I needed income. I needed money, right? There was no Coach Rob personal development business. There was no Battle Harder podcast and this public persona. There was no speaking gigs. There was nothing other than business owner, gym owner. So I leaned on what I know, even though what I know is what I hated, and that was being a cop. And I went and applied and applied and applied for every department. I went and got my Florida State certification as a police officer. Nobody wanted me. Various reasons. Mental health issues, tattoos, too old. No one wanted me. Then the one department that wanted me, I was even more miserable, even more upset, even more angry, even more frustrated. And I just couldn't find my place back in. So after being at a police department for 4 months, I had to quit. I had to give it up. And then I failed again. I was constantly getting told no. Sitting here with no clear direction, no structure, no plan. No one was coming to save me. Nobody handed me a lesson. Nobody said, here's the value in this. I felt like everything stopped. And here's the part that nobody talks about, the hardest part. It isn't the fall. It's what comes after. It's sitting there alone and being honest with yourself, saying, what did I do wrong? What didn't work? Where did I lose this structure? Where did I rely on my emotion instead of my discipline? And that's not motivational. That's very uncomfortable. That's very scary. That's masculine vulnerability, not crying about it, not blaming the world, looking at your life and saying, I have to fix this and I have to fix me. And that's where most of us check out, because it's easier to say it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't the timing. It was the circumstances. It was COVID. It's harder to rebuild with intention. So here's the framework. First, stop trying to find the meaning in the failure itself. The meaning comes from your response. Second, rebuild some sort of structure immediately. Not everything, just something. Start with moving your body. Fix your habits, fix your routine. Clean up your environment around you. You can't rebuild confidence through thinking. You rebuild through taking action. Third, iterate. Don't try to be perfect, but try something. Adjust it accordingly, and then do it again. That's how you move forward in life. Fourth, rebuild your identity, because when you fail, what really breaks isn't the plan. It's who you thought you were. So you prove it back to yourself by one action at a time, one decision at a time, one rep at a time. You don't become the man you want to be in one moment. You have to build him through discipline. And over time, something will shift. You'll stop looking at failure like something that happened to you. And you start to use it as something that has shaped you. Not because it was a gift, because you made it useful. And that's the difference. That's what separates the men who stay stuck in life from the men who rebuild. So if you're in that place right now, stop waiting for failure to teach you something. Go teach yourself something through action, through structure, through repetition. That's how you're going to take your control back. And if you're a man trying to rebuild after losing direction, structure, or identity, That's exactly what I help men do. Not motivation, not hype, real systems, real discipline, real structure. You can go to battleharder.com and request a strategy call, and we'll build it back brick by brick the right way. Failure isn't a gift, but it can come one if you're willing to do the work. With that being said, life gets hard. I know life gets hard. I just lost my mother-in-law. I haven't even talked about it on the podcast yet because I'm still processing it. You see, no one can prepare themselves for death, right? And I was in Arkansas. I had just gone up there. I was in a training program, a $10,000 training program for a coaching certification that I wanted to use towards what I currently do, coaching men, helping men, being a better coach, being a better man. And I was only in the training for 5 days. It wasn't even really 5 days. Thursday, my mother-in-law went to the hospital. Friday, my mother-in-law was clinically brain dead. And Saturday, I was flying home. And even though my wife and my father-in-law wanted me to stay in the training, I knew as a man, as a husband, that I had to come home to my wife. I had to come home and support her. I had to come home and be with her. It's only been 2 weeks since my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, is gone and up in heaven. And we're still putting together the pieces because, once again, no one is prepared for death. And if I would have stayed in that class, I would have looked at myself as a failure to my wife. I would have looked at myself as a failure to my father-in-law. I would have looked at myself as a failure to my family. I had to take some sort of discipline and structure and willing to say, you know what? God needs me to come home, and being home is more important. I understand hard times. I understand the times and after time where I used to want to kill myself, where I sat there with a gun in my hand, loaded around in the chamber, and was wondering if this was the last day, if this was the day I was going to do it, because I felt like a failure. And the point was, I wasn't. You're not a failure. And I know this is dark, like I'm going off the deep end here on being a little bit dark. But I tell you this because I've been there. I've been in the deepest, darkest parts of my soul of what darkness can be. And if I can make it out and make it out through realizing that there's a bigger purpose in my life, and that my family needs me to be a strong man, to be a strong father, to be a strong husband, to be a strong brother, that he needs you too. So if you're hurting right now, just push one more day. And that next day, if you're still hurting, push one more day. And that next day, push one more day. You see, we want to fix everything all at once. And it didn't work. It took me 47 years to get out of this depression, to get out of this PTSD, to get out of this funk of being just a miserable fuck all my life. And I have the tools, I have the tricks, I have the tips, I have the confidence that if you're stuck right now, if you're going through it, if you need a game plan, if you need a coach to kick your ass and say, I got you, reach out and I will pick you up and I will lift you up and we will do the work together. It will not be easy. It will be intense. It will suck at times. You'll want to quit. But if you stay with me and stay the course, you will be better for it. Everything I do with the Battle Harder podcast, the Battle Ready solo series, my coaching, I just want to see you win. I want to see you be the best version of yourself. And I want you to be someone that your wife, your partner, whoever, the people that in your life, that they're proud of you. So you can leave it all on the table when it's time and when you're dead and gone. And they say, this person was an amazing man. Go out there to what you have to do to be successful. And remember to always be fit for battle.